No, I
Now,
totally agree.
who did you hang around with? Who were your mates while you were there?
So funnily enough, in 1A it was my brother, Martin Green, and can't actually think who was on our table and the other person on the table. So yeah, I was with them the majority of the time.
Did you give a
It,
nod to any of the other local guys you see from our way?
yeah, of course you do. You obviously you have your little conversation, but again, I just have my headphones in.
You keep to
If
yourself. You're focused.
yeah, like at the end of the day, if people want to speak to me, then they can speak to me after the event or before the event. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for having it, but when I'm there to do a job, that's what it is. That's what it's about. Like you're paying a lot of money to be there,
Yeah, yeah.
so why take your focus away? Just have a odd chat. Like I'm one of them that once I'm in the venue, I'm all I'm all ready for it. Like I've prepared myself for what I'm about to do. I don't need the chats and jollies up. I'll just if the chats will come after, if you know what I mean. Like as everyone know, I'm all for a chat after it,
But I think you have to
and
be like that with a lot of high performance sports and things like that. You have to be in a position that you have your game face. You're there to do your job. Afterwards, yep, laugh, joke, drinks, have a great time. But that's part and parcel of it.
no,
Is
agree.
there any bitching, pranking behind the scenes that go on? Any mind games that people play, or
Um,
maybe not necessarily for you, but you hear about?
yeah, like I say, that's again, that's for the lads that go on to the tours and that. You see, there's tables that are all proper jokes, and sometimes you walk past and you think, oh yeah, you'd love to join in, but again, that's down to why you're there. Like you look at yourself and say to why am I there? Am I there for the jokes and messing about, or am I there to do a job? And for me, it's always been there to do a job. And I agree that sometimes you can get dragged into it, depending on where you are. But I tend to get myself away from it. But you can definitely see the lads that do have a great laugh there. So it's down to the reason why you're there. I think like
It is hard, and like you say, it is. You said dragged into it, but it's a very good use of of words, in fact, because I know a lot of really good local players who, once they get together with the lads and they start having a few bevies, the
yeah,
darts is secondary to why they're there. So,
of
and that
course,
can
yeah,
affect things. And you obviously have an obligation to your sponsors, who will put money into the events for your entries for things like that. And if you're going up and just getting drunk and not doing your best, then you're going to feel that as well. And like you say, if you've got responsibility for your family and things, so you have to think about those things. So it's a good way to be, I think, when you're there, and we'll party afterwards, which I'm sure you
yeah.
must have done.
I again, I really haven't. I'm still trying to get my head around. I'm still trying to get back to all the messages as well. So the celebrating hasn't even started.
Yeah, yeah, but it was really nice as well. I think it was a nice touch. I use the word nice touch, the phrase nice touch a lot, but there's lots of nice touches in the world, and I'll highlight them. But you put a message out there saying, "Look, thank you so much for the support and everything. I've got so many messages. I will get round to them, but just to let you know, I'm really appreciative of them," and that was really nice. I saw that, and then a couple of hours later, I get the message from you saying, "Yeah, yeah, let's sort this out." So it's nice to have that personal contact, and I think you're connecting well with your fans. You're starting to get fans, Jack.
Yeah, well, like I say, I've not changed. I'm no different to who I was 3 days ago. You know what I mean? I may have got this now classed as a professional dart player or got my tour card, something that many people want. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm still go to work. I'm still gonna play my darts, still go on site. I'm still in contact with my friends, family, and like I say, I'm no different. Like, there's no need for me to be. Oh, hang on, I'm better than anyone else. Because at the end of the day, I was in their shoes. What a week ago?
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
so why? There's no reason for me to change. So yeah,
Keep being who you are. That's who we like.
yeah, 100%.
What do you do as your job? Because obviously it's a common thing that a lot of darts players, especially until they really start reaching those higher tiers, will even Glen Durrant until probably last year, I think it was still had his full time job. So what do you do as a full time job?
I'm just bricklayer. I'm just one of those people you see on site with the music on and putting bricks down. That's bad. That's about as far as my
Which
work
which
life goes.
which you must have lots of the guys giving you stick and banter and everything on site when you're.
God, that's never ending. I think from the moment I get on site at 7 in the morning to the point I go home, it's you're all at each other's neck. That's part of the parcel. Though. If you want to go on site, anyone that's on site knows that it's all part of the job. It's not the best job in the world. Let's face it, especially in this climate. It's like the weather's horrible. You got to work in the wet, cold, and to make it fun,
It's
you got
a
to be giving
real
each other stick.
it's a real good honest living, simple as that.
Yeah,
I'm I was recently made an ambassador for the autism awareness in darts. I'm a
yeah,
big advocate for equality across, equality of opportunity for everyone, whether
yeah,
it's race, sex, and everything like that. And one of the things I've always, because I've got quite a posh voice, so a lot of people
yeah,
think, oh, you must have been born with a silver spoon in his mouth. No, no, no. My dad came from London, wasn't that well educated, worked his way into a hard job, moved from London because he didn't want us to have that kind of upbringing.
yeah,
And I just speak well, but a lot of my friends and a lot of the people I value and appreciate the most, I've got a friend called Henry who works on a market stall. He's one of the best communicators in the world. You know,
yeah,
he can talk to anyone. Whereas you get some people who are very, very posh who, well, I don't want to talk to you. And there's all these,
yeah.
they don't know how to talk to people. Whereas, I always say people who do proper working man job. Uh, are really good communicators, nice people, and have a nice balanced, even, a balanced head on their shoulders.
Yeah, no, of course, like I say, I stand by that. At the end of the day, we're all equal people. Like we all have our issues. There's no hiding that. We all have our problems with our issues, but we're all the same. Like you treat people how they treat you. As simple as that. If someone gives me the respect, then I'll give them nothing but respect back. But if it goes the other way, then I kind of just take myself away from it. I'm not interested in the negativity in life. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's the way I see it.
Just jumping back slightly, when you're at Q school, you obviously got the hotel, you've got the venue. Are
Yeah.
you free to go anywhere else, or are there electric fences and scheduled exercise time like prison? What's the situation?
Well, at the time, it did feel like a little bit like prison, especially the time we're in. Anyway, like you can't appreciate the PDC enough to be able to get it going. Like there's talks whether it was going to happen, the
Yeah, yeah,
dates change, so you can't knock the work that's behind the scenes. Like you see it firsthand when you're there. And it is spot on. I personally, that's why I chose the PDC route anyway, because the way how professional they are, you're not going to get anything better. But yeah, once you're in the hotel, we had to go down to a time slot to have a COVID test. Then we had to go back in the car and sit there, and that's a nervy moment because you know that you're fine, and you're waiting for that COVID test that phone call to say, yep, you can come back into the hotel now, get yourself booked in. So yeah, that was the start of it. It's just like you're hitting nerves as soon as you get there. Like you're
yeah.
not even in the tournament until you get that COVID test done. Um,
But
so once
once
that
you're in
happens,
there,
yeah, once you're in there, you obviously get to your hotel booked, and first thing you just go straight to your room. They say that you can have an hour outside um, to get exercise or go to the shop, get essentials and whatever you want to do. But like I say, for
is the
myself,
shop within the walls?
yeah, no, lucky enough, there's in the MK Arena, there's Asda literally
Oh no.
2 minute walking distance. So once it's all open, Milton Keynes is perfect. You got your eateries, you got your if you wanted to go and buy some clothes because you got knocked out of the tournament, and you go and do it like you're 2 seconds away. So I think where that is a brilliant venue to have it. But
Yeah, yeah.
um,
I'm hoping it's there
yeah,
next year because obviously I'll hope to go, but it's not too
yeah.
far away from us. So
Like I say, it's a great venue for it. So again, whether it happens there, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen next year?
yeah, yeah. But are you able to mingle and everything when you're there? Between
Um, Again, I'm not. I wasn't even 100% sure about that. Like I said, I literally once I got there, I got to my room and I stayed in my room, got my food, and then went to the tournament, played it, come back to my room, ate. Like that was mine. Like I weren't. I, to be totally honest with you, I don't know if you could have mixed rooms once you've had your tests and everything. I should imagine you are because you're in the bubble. Then
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
played downstairs. You've all been in the same arena. So I'm guessing that you could, but for myself, just to have my own space, I took myself away to my room. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people were doing that, and I heard an interview that Danny Baggish was knocking back a few beers, sort of celebratory beers and things like that in his room as a bit of raucous behaviour. I'm picturing that, you know, Fallon Sherrock is downstairs ordering her pizza, and all the single lads are sort of, oh, hi, Fallon.
see, that's
If you
how
can't
me.
mingle, you can't do it. So, you know, but
I was one of the boring ones that when I got into my room, I sat there with my book. So,
good on you. Now, one question I've had from my subscribers is, what do you do between matches? What's the facility like? Do you just sit at a table in a large hall and watch what's going on, or what do you do when you're not playing?
no, well, again, that's all players' preference. Like for myself, at the start of the event, you obviously go and see who you're playing, what board, and how many games in. So obviously throughout the morning before that's all up and running, you have your practice, you sit down, you have whatever you do, and then once it's all up on board, I've monitor when I'm on. When I see the game before, I get up and have a practice and go to the toilet. Obviously, you don't want to be going to the toilet midway through a game, do you? So I
Yeah.
get all that out of the system, and and then get myself ready, mentally prepared for the game, and make sure that my arm's flowing right. And that's about it. There aren't much to it, really. I don't think.
Do you have to chalk when you've if you lose like you do in some of the local ones, or is it always someone else chalking?
Yeah, I think because of COVID at the moment, it's always player the loser chalks, or the last player. If for at the start of the event, the last name on your sheet is the one chalking. So yeah, but I believe it was on the challenge tour before COVID, and I believe on the pro tour they've already got the markers. So lucky enough, you can go and have your 5 minutes if you lose. So yeah, that's what I know of so far. Like I say, with COVID blowing everything up, it's hard to answer them.
Yeah, sure. Of course, now you're no longer the Padawan learner. You are a Jedi, and you may have to face Darren. That must be something you'll all, you know, you're going to enjoy, but also maybe feel slightly awkward about it.
No, like again, like it sounds really silly. He's this. I don't want it to sound rude or me being arrogant or anything, but it's just another game. Like you can't. You went. I was saying when I played football. If I when I played Arsenal once, it's just like I'm playing Arsenal. It's like I want the win. Like let's see what you got. And the same with that. So I don't look at the player and go, oh, here we go. This at the end of the day, I know that I'm going to be into a game, and just, like I said earlier, I'm there to beat him as much as he's wanting to beat me. The situation, if I did play Darren, yeah, it may be a little bit different because obviously I practiced with him for 2 years, and but again, but that's not something that really I look too deeply into. If I'm totally honest now.
Yeah. Just a quick question I thought off the top of my head is sometimes when I'm playing, you'll get people who will purposefully do things to sort of niggle you and things like that. Do you find that you're affected much by those, or do you find that your mindset is very on what you're doing?
Again, that can turn depending on where you are in the game. I suppose straight away, if you're losing, you then find excuses if you like. I'm not one for excuses, but I've been in a few games. I'm not going to name any names or whatever, but I've been in a few games.
Go on.
Yeah, with the money on the line, and what's up there for grabs is some players do like to try and play the mind games, if you like. They do like the tactics, and if they have to do that to beat it, then so be it. That's saying one thing. That's credit to yourself. They can't beat you.
The games do exist. I mean, you know, we've obviously had Gary Anderson kicking off about it and stuff about the slow play. Now, obviously, there's some things that go to, you know, I think Sulovic was basically sitting back having the cigar and smoking a pipe while he was waiting. But, you know, there are some times where it goes a little bit too far. But I believe very much that actually it's something you do have to contend with, and it's down to the referee to sort of deal with if it's too much. But, you know, there are these things that will happen. If sometimes it might be a case that you start to slow down for yourself because you realize actually I'm going with their pace and things. So those things exist, but like you
Yeah,
said, you play
that's
your
a
game, right?
yeah, that's one that's been spoken about loads of times. I'd say you play your game. Like sometimes you do slow up a little bit, and I'm all for it. I've done it a few times. Like you think, oh, I'm going into their pace. Hang on, I'll play my game. Like long as they know that is your game, and that's like you're not playing no mind games. I don't see the problem. It's when it's deliberate and they're literally slowing you down. They're flicking their darts on they're rubbing their darts together when you're throwing, or they're
Yeah,
flicking
that's
their darts on the
that's
floor.
annoying.
And then you start. That's where you have to keep mentally strong over it. I think that's why it's such a mental game. Like there's so much happens behind closed doors which people don't know. So,
Yeah.
or in games, like you see it in local darts, not just professional darts. You see it everywhere. So again,
I've got the opinion now that if it's bugging me and it shouldn't be happening, not I try not to do it quite as Merv King like because he strops about it a little bit, but I will say something because otherwise I'm thinking about I should be saying something and it's affecting
yeah,
my game. Once I've said it, I go, I wanted to say it, I've said it, done, I can move on.
yeah,
And it's kind of I had someone behind who was they had a they had something wrong with their shoe on their heel and they were constantly like leaning forwards and
yeah,
backwards on it. So I'm about to throw and all I can hear is
yeah. You get that all the time.
I'm just trying to throw and your heel's going nuts. He goes, "What do you want me to do?" I go, "Keep it still."
No, I'm not. I can honestly say I'm not. I'm not real. I'm not a big one to get involved in all that. Like, if it happens, it happens. I'll just
Yeah.
stand back and wait for my throw.
Yeah.
You can't. Well, I say you can't. You try not to worry about it. That is what it is. It's part of the game, I suppose.
Absolutely. Now, I think I've heard that your goal for the next 2 years is obviously being the last in the top 64, which I think is a
Yeah.
great goal and a natural goal to have. But do you have any targets in players or people that you'd love to play against, people that you'd like to test yourself against?
Again, like saying, my goal now is to get obviously regain my tour card at the end of the 2 years. That's obviously, I think that's a lot of players that are in my position. That's their main aim. Like you don't want to be losing your tour card after the first 2 years, do you? So that's the main one. But regarding players and everything else, again, I'm not one of them that look around. Obviously, there's great players there. They wouldn't be there if they weren't great players or professionals. But I'm not one to, oh look, I want to play Van Gerwen, or look, I want to play Gerwen Price. Like I'm there to do a job as much as anyone else. Like as I said right at the start, I'm there to earn money. I'm there to pursue a career, if you like. So that's it's one of them. It
If
depends
they
on.
come up against you, they've got to beat you. That's it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, yeah, I'm all for wanting to win. That's why we play sport. That's what sportsmen are about. Like, you want to win games. Like, you want to earn a living. You want to get trophies. Who's in front of you? That's not a problem. Like, let's go. Let's go toe to toe. And if it happens like that, obviously, but
Yeah.
it's all well and good speaking it. It's actually going and doing it. But it's one of them.
We shall see. Now, my aim here is to get the fans and people who don't know you so well to get to know you. So, what other hobbies and things do you do outside of darts? Do you have any other particular passions and interests?
Well, obviously, football's my main one. I love the sport. I still play it here and there if I can. Like whether that's another decision I'm going to have to make, whether I'm going to carry it on, or because there's massive risks in it. I was risking it when I was playing anyway. But other than that, I've got my dog, which, as everyone who knows me knows, I absolutely adore him. I've got misses that we go out on that. So yeah, hobbies wise, I'm pretty plain sailing. If you wanted to go out, let's go out. If you want to go for a beach walk, let's go for a beach. That's all. I'm easy going. I'm all for anything.
I
Want
was
to
going to
go
mention. I
go
was
for
going to
it.
mention earlier on that you were a softie, and I think that's mainly because of the love for your dog. What type of dog do you have, and what's his name?
I have a full staffy, Rodney. He's a bit of a nightmare, but
Rodney.
he, yeah, trust me, he lives up to that name.
Yeah. I mean, you've
Yeah.
got so many posts, and I'm pretty sure if one doesn't exist yet, it will soon. But I think you'll probably have an Instagram account for your dog probably soon. It's a
He's getting a good
real
one.
love affair with man's best friend.
Yeah, I posted something online yesterday on my Twitter, which people can go and see. But I just said post pictures of dogs, and that kind of blew up. It was lovely to see, because with everything going on at the moment, when you see a happy dog, you can't help but smile at him. It just breeds positivity, and that's what I'm all about. Like, is try and make as much happiness as possible. Otherwise, it's going to be a struggle. Put it that way.
No, absolutely. Now, of course, a dog is a man's best friend, but I believe that you also get a lot of support from your partner in crime and your lovely girlfriend. How did you two meet?
Yeah, she's been a diamond for we can't actually remember how we met.
We'll cut this bit, cut this.
I'm a proper bloke in that sense. But yeah, we just got speaking as you do, and she obviously see about my darts, as I think that was a bit of a struggle at first. I don't think she was ready to see how much time I'm actually on the board, and when we moved in together, she's well from the get-go, to be honest. She's been nothing but massive support for me. If you don't have someone that understands what you're doing, where your drive is, and kind of can break it down for you, but she understands that when I go to work, I'm at work at 7 in the morning, I come home, we have dinner together, and she don't see me until I go to bed, like, because I've got a job to do. I'm not one to sit down, but when we have got time together, we manage to do stuff. And once COVID's over, we've got, well, things in the pipeline. But as I think anyone would say the same. Like, if you don't have someone there to support you and back you and actually understand and constantly in your ear, you'll struggle. So having the support is massive.
I mean, does she struggle when you leave for events, or is she happy to get rid of you and have the house to herself?
Yeah, I think she can't wait to get rid of me, to be honest, 'cause I can't feel it. But yeah, she looks after the boy, so I'll leave her to look after him, and I'll go and do a job.
And how do your parents react to your darts? Are they supportive?
Yeah, like I've only just really got back speaking to, well, I say speaking to my dad. That's a different subject, but my mum's been brilliant. She's been massively supportive. She's from the moment I started throwing darts, I think she's kept on saying, I'll make it, and like I say, the support she gives me and the messages every time I'm away and everything, she's great. Regarding my old man, yeah, we'll see what the next year brings. Like I say, I got back in contact with him, so it's one of them. He's always, don't get me wrong, he's always been supportive. It's just a decision that was made, and yeah, I'll give him his due. He's proper supportive of it. So
a tricky relationship which hopefully grows and gets better as you go on. So.
Yeah.
I mean, my parents are sick to death of darts, quite frankly. I live and breathe it. I'm always talking about it with the channel, playing myself. But I mean, at least we're doing something that's cheap, fun, accessible for everyone, right?
Yeah, of course it is. That's how I pretty much got into it. Anyone can throw darts. Anyone can put up a board. It's not costly. You can go and get a set of darts for about £5 and stick a board up, and before you know it, you're absolutely loving it. You're getting the enjoyment out of it, and then who knows, you can be the next one.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good fun. I mean, it's an easy game to play, very difficult to master.
Real social as well. Like, it's really good for a social side. Like,
yeah,
you're one of those people that like the social. You like getting out and about. You like just go and see other places. It's brilliant for it. It gets you out of your shell as well, especially if that's what you're into.
Yeah, exactly. No, I can't agree more. Now, I assume obviously you look up a little bit to Darren because obviously what he's done for you in darts. But do you have any darting heroes? Do you have someone that you support?
Well, in truth, Adrian Lewis is probably the biggest one for me. Like, I just, he's always exciting. When obviously I started watching darts, he's really exciting to watch. It's just, he's fluent. He's just gets on with the game, and he just made it look so natural. But the other one's got to be good. I wouldn't say I look up to him, but I admire is that obviously Gerwen Price. He's come from the sort of, I know he's a lot ahead of what I was, but he's in a different sport. He goes and then becomes world champion over a certain period of time.
No, it makes perfect sense for you to have him as a sort of a role model in terms of, well, I can relate to that.
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, you get people, there was a few bits that I didn't like about him, which a lot of people didn't. But then when you actually watch him and see him as a person, you can see why. Like that he's built in it. He's built on adrenaline. He's built on that hunger, and like fair play to him. You just can't knock that.
I can't agree more. And I actually spoke about this recently. I don't know whether it was on the podcast or an interview, but for me, Gerwen Price, I didn't like a lot of the ways that he did, and I found him quite, hard to sort of swallow, really. But he made such a dramatic change. I say dramatic, I mean, he still does his celebration, but he was very conscious of the things that he was doing that were probably a
Yeah,
little too much. He's made big changes, and he's just gone, right, this is my game now. And,
yeah.
I'm a big supporter of what he's done. So,
I think he's gained so much respect for it as well. So people see it. He weren't doing it. Obviously, the Grand Slam's another story. That's not. I ain't going to comment on that. But the fact of the matter is that people saw that was his game. He's not doing it to put people off. That's just him. Do you see it
I think there was a little bit of kind of like there was a little bit too much in that Gary Anderson game. Obviously, it was fined as a result, but I think he realized that he pushed it too far and stuff, and was maybe doing a little bit too much intimidation stuff, and went, actually, I'm good enough to let my darts do the talking. I will
Yeah.
still celebrate when I do well, but I'm not going to do as much, under table tactics and stuff, and that's why I gave him respect.
But again, I think in a single man sport, it's heat and moment, and like I think we've all been there where you get a bit riled up, and it happens, and he held his hands up, and look what he's done. Like you
Exactly.
can't knock that from him.
And at the same time, it's very easy for us to judge. But sometimes when you're in that moment, I mean, I played Jack Langston. We had a game, our team against his team, Jack Langston, the darts referee, and he
Very
beat
bad.
me. And he went absolutely nuts in his celebration. Then he walked round the community centre just to sort of calm himself down. And then he came over to me and said, "I'm so sorry that I celebrated like that. I was just so excited about it." I said, "Mate, it's not a problem at all." But you can sometimes get carried away in the moment, and people forget about human behavior sometimes, and
Yeah, of
think
course it is. Like
get caught up with things.
a sense of achievement. I think people forget as well. Like you achieve something, sometimes you just can't. That gust of wind that goes over it's it's crazy. It's like
Yeah.
if you're a footballer and you go and score a winning goal in a World Cup final or cup final or any final. The celebrations you probably you don't know what you're about to do. It just comes out. It's human nature.
Some people see an individual match and they're like, "Oh God, he went over the top with that celebration, and everything." What you don't
Yeah,
realize is that for the last 5 years, he's been fighting an injury,
yeah,
nearly lost his tour card, nearly lost his sponsorship and everything. So that celebration is actually an amalgamation of lots of things you don't know about. So I always
of
try
course.
and give people the benefit of the doubt, and especially in high emotion situations, we need to realize, look, these are people, and maybe there's
Yeah,
something more going on. So try and give them the benefit of the doubt, be a bit understanding, and then we'll see later on down the line.
100% agree.
Now, I'm going to fire some quick questions now from a few subscribers. So, first question: are you still allowed to play local tournaments? You don't know yet. We've already asked
Yeah.
that. What is your walk-on song? Come on, have you got any contenders for it? Anything any bands you're interested in or anything?
No, again, like I said, I do like the Eminem "Lose Yourself." It's just like it's basically
Yeah.
the opportunity, and it says a lot in the lyrics. So I'm a massive Eminem fan anyway, but it just it's got a lot about myself in it, which people probably don't understand or know. So yeah,
Yeah.
that'd probably be the first call up, but whether
Yeah.
that's allowed or not, who knows?
If Lose
Again,
Yourself happens, you heard it here first, guys. All right.
yeah,
But no, I think that suits quite nicely. What is your nickname?
the main man, obviously, because of my second name, and I love lions. So
The main man, and that's where the lion inspiration comes from. So that actually goes through to the next bit. So talk us through your shirt design and sponsors.
yeah, my shirt design was designed in Canada actually from someone the owner of ProJoy. So they designed my shirts, and obviously they've got the lion on the back and the darts, and it's a bit funky. It's a nice shirt,
It's a
but
cool shirt. It's a cool shirt.
that is a decent shirt. And I've actually got some more getting made by someone else at the moment, and we'll see if what comes from them. So the sponsors are obviously Cosmo. They've been with me from near enough the start. I've got JBD, obviously my management. I've got Hand Cash, and Bitcoin BSV. I don't know if many people know about that, which basically in the Bitcoin community.
Yep.
And yeah, I've got that AAA taxis in Hertfordshire, which is also massive. Been with me from almost the start as well. So they've all put faith in me, which nothing but thanks to them.
I quite like the nice local ones, even if like it's not a big deal to have their patch on your shirt. They love it, and it's nice to sort of not always forget where you've come from and stuff. And I think that's something
Of course.
you hold dear as well. So it's nice to hear. How did you get sponsored by the other companies?
How the FDI the guy on Twitter, the FDI index, he posted something about me online, and all of a sudden I had a couple of people messaging me asking me for if they can sponsor me and put patches on. Obviously the ranking obviously looked quite good to them, so yeah, that's how two of them come about.
So did you go speak to my agent, darling?
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it is. I don't negotiate any of that. Like I obviously keep in contact with all my sponsors. I make sure that they're happy with what I'm doing, how the shirt looks for them. I obviously keep all that. But regarding any negotiation from the sponsorship deals and everything and the packages that are available, that all goes through my manager. So I try and keep myself well away from that.
Excellent. This next question, I'm guaranteeing, has come from my captain of my team. He says, have you ever played the mighty Mark Kerr from LoveDarts?
Yeah, as you say, a few times, yeah.
Yeah, we did. Well, I say played. It was more like a sort of domination annihilation. I had a few moments, but Jack's obviously a hell of a player, and it's. Oh, have you gone? Oh, you're there.
Oh, there you
go. Yeah, it's quite good because I don't care who I come up against. For me,
no.
the way my mentality for darts is, I don't care whether I win or lose. I care about whether I've played well or not.
Yeah, of course.
And if I feel like sometimes my technique's not there and I'm looping my darts and things like that, I'll be frustrated knowing that I haven't solidified my technique and thrown properly. If I've thrown properly and the opponent's better than me, not a problem.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
You can't. That's one thing that people forget. Like if someone's honestly played better than you, what can you do? You've done as much as you can to beat them, and they've just got over the line. You got to shake their hand. Just fair play to you.
I think the thing is, a lot of you can't necessarily teach it, but there's being a bad winner and a bad loser as well, and you need to really make sure that you're aware of that, especially at your level, because the slightest thing that you do in the public can affect you on long terms as well.
That's why, in the sense of
yourself, so it makes it easier if you're just a nice person. And
of course, yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the sense of Mike Van Gogh, love him or hate him, whether he's won or lost, gracious always. That's one thing in it as from him that no one can take away from him. He's brilliant. Win, lose, draw. He's all for it. He's a great winner. He's a great loser, and that's probably why he's been where he's been for the last God knows how long. Not just his ability, but.
And I like Van Gerwen's honesty, because like, yeah, absolutely smashed him today. I was playing absolutely phenomenally. And you're like,
yeah,
well, yeah, actually you were, it's not arrogance. You're just stating the fact. And sometimes it comes across a bit like that to us. But at the same time, you'd be like, yeah, Peter was phenomenal today. He was the better man. He won. And that's it. That was my Van Gerwen impression. It weren't too bad. Was your Q school entry self-funded? I think it was probably your management.
That wasn't the first year, it was, but the rest of them is all from management, lucky enough.
Yeah, his job is to go and play the darts, and that's what they do to help. Do you have a job outside darts, which we've answered, which is UI Bricky?
Yeah.
What's your favourite food?
Oh, without a doubt, steak. You gotta love steak. Yeah.
If you like steak, there is a restaurant in Amsterdam. It's a chain called Lucha, Loetje. It is the best steak I've had. It's absolutely incredible. And my job, I work on a Google project, so I've traveled all around Europe and I get a budget for food and stuff. So I've tried lots and lots of places, but this one's particularly good. So if there's a chance that you're there, or if in the future we end up there in an event, I'm hoping I'm going to be get that good. But I'll take you for steak then. It's amazing there. You'll really enjoy it. What's your favourite TV show?
Again, I really can't. Regarding TV, I don't watch it. My missus will tell you I don't really watch TV at all. The only thing I do watch is Only Fools and Horses, which obviously that's where my dog name come from. But I just put that on in the background when I go to bed. So regarding TV programs, I really don't watch them.
Not a lot of TV.
No.
Oh, okay, what's your first pro tournament and when? We know that is on Thursday. What is the event?
It is the Players' Championship, I
Players
believe.
Championship. Blondes or brunettes?
I could say either or. Mrs. has been both. So. Either or, and I won't get a slap. So I'll say blonde.
Say blonde. Okay. You read quite a lot about mental strength and winner's mindset. Do you think that was fundamental to your success at Q School? So this sounds like someone who knows you, maybe.
Correct. Yeah, as a lot of people know me, I've been a massive reader. When I was playing football, I was all about footballers' autobiographies. I wanted to know what they were doing. I wanted to know their lifestyle, what they were doing behind closed doors. I wanted to know their mindset. I just wanted to know everything. I was like a sponge. And then obviously after football, I went into looking at the mind and how the mind works and how you can strengthen your mind, how it can affect darts. Or basically, it's the mind bit is down to struggling with mental strength myself for a little while. So yeah, that's where that come from, and I advise it to anyone. There's plenty of things out there that can really enhance your mental strength and can in truth enhance your life. And yeah, I'm all for that.
Favorite drink?
Call me old, but I'd love a good cup of tea when I come home. I'm not very. I don't really drink alcohol. I'm not a fizzy drinker really. I do like a nice fresh coffee or a nice cup of tea, and that I'm sorted. You sold me.
So in these winter months, you've been sat there with your slippers on, pipe in hand, dog on lap, and reading a nice book.
Yeah, I'm just missing out on the coal fire. That's all.
Fantastic. Look, Jack, we've always, as always, completely overrun our time. And look, I'm very, very thankful that you've spent so long telling us about yourself, giving us a real feel for what we can expect from Q School, should we ever attend, and just being a generally bloody nice bloke.
Yeah, no, I appreciate your time.
So we wish you all the success in the future. I want to play you locally and have a beer when this is all over, and you can give us some tips on how to become a Jedi Master like yourself. Look, thanks again, and if you wouldn't mind just telling people what they should immediately do after watching this video, of course, completely unprompted by me.
No, definitely like and subscribe. The channel is well worth it. Get great content, so you'd be silly not to, really.
I mean, it's just so kind. I mean, completely unprompted.
No, it's a great channel. Fair play.
Have a great day, and thanks to everyone for watching and showing your continued support. And remember,
Love darts.
That's my line! Damn you!